This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. I wonder if we have anything to talk about today, Andy. Do we have anything?
Big O, what timing? What amazing timing. Free agency opens like as I come on. We'll see. We're still waiting to hear on Aaron Rodgers. We are no longer waiting to hear on what the Bears do with the #1 overall pick. That was a thrill. That's exciting.
Boy, they got a shit ton, bro.
Man, they got a haul. That was amazing, right? Like DJ Moore was my target for the Bears, and I wasn't really sure that Carolina would ever move him to any team. I just think he's a wonderful.
They're so desperate for a QB.
I think he's a wonderful player who's never had a quarterback. Didn't have a quarterback in college, right? Like you look at what he was dealing with his final season at Maryland, and it was just a rogues gallery that got worse throughout the season. Best quarterback maybe.
The problem is the other two had not gotten there yet. That was the issue
right
there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just an incredible haul for the Bears. I mean, DJ Moore and a pick would have seemed like a lot to me, and then DJ Moore and like multiple first rounders is just crazy. It is winning the lottery. So my team certainly has no excuse, and they've done at least one good thing.
Well, two, because they decided to keep Justin, which
right.
Just thinking about moving him, it's like I want to choke you. Like you guys have had no quarterback in decades. Come on, the last time you had him, his name is McMahon, and his career was shortened by George Martin. I mean, Jesus.
There's no reason you would know this, but the Bears single season passing record is one of the most hilarious things. It's one of the most hilarious marks in sports. It's like 3,830 yards or something like that. Eric Kramer has it. It's not even close to 4,000. Like we see 10, 12 guys a year now top 4,000 yards. It's not even a plateau. Like it's not even worth talking about, right? The Bears have never had it. The Bears have been in existence for a century, Big O. They have never had a 4,000-yard pass or anything close to it.
My best friend, unfortunately, no longer with us, was a monster Bears fan, and his misery was constant, because of the lack of quarterback and all that. So yeah, I know it firsthand from listening to him all the time. All right, your thoughts on the move of Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins for a cup of tea?
Yeah, it's obviously the price paid is just not significant. It is, as I heard you say coming in, it is a sign that players want to be here. I guess that's the first thing. If I were a Dolphins fan, that's the first thing that I would really latch onto is the idea that he has been hoping for a move to the Dolphins, right? That Vic
Fangio was going to go wherever he wanted. He was going to get paid the same money wherever he wanted to go. It's not like the people that own Walmart are struggling for money in Denver. Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he could have gone with Sean Payton back there, even with a different, people running the front office and everything, as Payton was running the show. So I know it was uncomfortable, but he could have gone back there or a couple of other places, and he chose to go to Miami. So, and Darrell Bevell had a chance to be, an offensive coordinator somewhere else, and he chose to stay in Miami and coach Tua. So there are several examples already this offseason.
That to me is just the most encouraging thing, that you remain a destination for potential free agents and for anybody who's trying to force a trade, things like that. That is really exciting. Ramsey himself, obviously at his best, a great player. He's a little bit of shutdown or touchdown. He's got a little bit of that to his game. It's not like we've never seen him give up some big plays. But can he fit what Vic Fangio wants to do? I certainly think so. He's still, I don't know, there aren't 15 cornerbacks in my opinion who are better than Jalen Ramsey. So it's a great addition. It is one of the hardest positions to fill in the NFL. There are simply not enough great corners to go around to 32 teams, right? And you got one. You got a potential difference maker. He's not necessarily on the downside. Again, a little bit of a risk taker. But it's just a wonderful addition that comes at a very modest cost.
You want to join us for practice? Ramsey and X versus Waddle and Tyreek.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of fun, baby.
Yeah,
Lot
what
of
a
fun.
scene.
I just can't wait for training camp. I just want to go to training camp every day to just watch those four go up against each other all the time. And Tua also gets a really good workout because you're facing two of the best corners in
Right? No, it's a great point. It's a great point. Yeah, the just for the shit talking alone between, like, we're talking about some guys who will get in each other's faces, right? Like Ramsey and Tyreek going head to head. That's going to be super fun, and it's one of those, like, just iron sharpens iron situations too, as you say.
And by the way, it's the funny part. Now you brought that up. I didn't even think about that. Ramsey and Tyreek talk a lot of shit.
Yes, they do. Yes, they
Waddle and X are completely the polar opposites.
Yeah.
No, they don't talk shit. They're super quiet. They're just playmakers. They just play.
Right.
They don't. X is not a guy that runs his mouth at all. Like, he doesn't say much, dude. Like, he'll tell you 2-word answers in interviews. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Waddle is
Ramsey will talk after he gets beat. Like, Ramsey is talking all game. Ramsey is in your ear. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But it's funny that you just mentioned that. I did not realize that two of them are as talkative as it gets, and then the other two are complete introverts.
Yeah,
actually.
we're gonna see some incredible camp highlights from these battles. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just an obviously great addition.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the Dolphins picking up Tua Tagovailoa's 5th-year option?
Sure, kind of a no-brainer. You don't want to, you don't want to put yourself in the Giants situation with Daniel Jones, I suppose. On the open market,
only difference is if Tua balls out, he's worth the money.
Right. Right. It's it's a bit of a value. I mean, I think everybody at this point sees what quarterbacks are going for with the cap where it is. Like,
I try to tell people, years ago, and I'm talking about years ago now, because it was maybe 7 years ago now at this point, or 6 years ago, maybe 7, maybe 8. They gave Ryan Tannehill a $17 million contract. And we were all freaking out because that was the going rate at that time. And if you wanted to keep him and name him your franchise guy, which I was baffled, but whatever, they had to pay him. So we're talking about a $22 million contract years later for a guy that's way better than Ryan anyway. So really, if you want to put it in perspective, it's really not a lot, actually.
But we're, look at what Geno Smith just got paid. That guy had been a punchline for a decade, right? Like, apparently it only takes one season to become like a $30 or $40 million quarterback. I will again raise the idea, and we've never seen a team fully implement it. I don't know if we ever will, but there has to be some merit to the idea that we're just always going to bring in new quarterbacks, and we're never going to pay a guy $40 million, right? Like, it's such a significant percentage of your salary cap. Like, the Giants are giving Daniel Jones so much as a percentage of the cap, and he's fun. Like, he's good. He's fun. I just don't know at that level of quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to, in my view, if you're going to take
a rock and hard place, Andy. That's the thing. It wasn't just Daniel Jones. They were pressured because they were going to lose Saquon Barkley. And because if you tag Daniel Jones because you couldn't come to a deal with him, then you were going to lose Saquon Barkley. So it was almost like a forced deal with Daniel Jones so we can then tag Saquon Barkley, because
I'll just say we have
the quarterback then give the running back a multi-year deal who has also been injury prone also. So it was kind of like they were pressured on wanting to keep both because they felt they needed both elements to move on with the offense.
I mean, I hear that. It's just we're in an off season in which there happen to be a number of competent quarterbacks who are available. I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers. I'm not talking about guys who are stars. I'm not even talking about Lamar.
Derek Carr. I would have signed Derek Carr.
This Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo level of player. Like, those guys are available to you. and you don't like, okay, maybe it's different with Derek Carr, but you don't necessarily have to go $40 million on them, right? You don't necessarily have to throw this much money and this great a slice of the salary cap at them. And there's a whole bunch of running backs available too, and it's a good rookie class for running backs. I think people have already wrapped their head around the idea that with rare exceptions, we probably don't want to go to the second contract on a whole bunch of running backs unless it's a team friendly deal. And I can make the same case at quarterback, right? Like, I don't want to lock up that kind of percentage of my cap on a quarterback who I think is merely, I think he's top 20, but I put him in the class of player that's, top 5 in the league. I can win a Super Bowl with that guy. I don't know if he's there for me.
No, I'm with you there. I said it a couple weeks ago that if I'm the Giants, I'm trying to sign Derek Carr instead of Daniel Jones. I'd rather give him that contract that you gave Daniel Jones. I'd rather give it to Derek Carr instead. I'll take my chances instead with Derek. I actually think you can win with Derek Carr. I really do. I think if you got a pretty good
it's happened. We've seen it. Like, we're just a year removed from the Raiders having a chance to beat the team that eventually went to the Super Bowl, like in the wild card round. Like, they had a play to force an overtime against the Bengals just a couple years ago, and Carr had a fantastic season that we've all forgotten about. But like, he's good enough to win playoff games. That can happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. Rodgers, where does he end up?
I mean, it would just be so weird if he goes back to the Packers at this point. I mean, this is multiple off seasons now where we've gone through this drama. By the way, I liked it more when there was an actual like television game show involved in the free agency battle for Aaron Rodgers. That will always be one of my favorite NFL storylines. I think it's the Jets. The Jets are an excellent landing spot. Again, we talked about this last week. I think it's weird for him to follow the Brett Favre path this closely. But it's a great landing spot. And as we also mentioned before, I just think the world of Garrett Wilson. And I severely underrated him coming into the draft. He was phenomenal, absolute revelation. He was open so often on routes where they didn't hit him last year too. Like, there's whole new levels to unlock in Garrett Wilson. I think he can be a top 5 receiver in his best years in the NFL, like for fantasy purposes. So for his sake alone, I think it would be really fun for Aaron Rodgers to go to the Jets. I have to view that as the best possible destination for him among the likely candidates to make a move for Aaron Rodgers. So I hope it just wraps up soon. I hope it wraps up while we're talking about this, because Rodgers dragging that thing on for days and days is just going to be an unnecessary distraction.
Yeah, and at one point or another, if you're the Jets, you have to move on, and you need to go find somebody else. You can't keep hanging on. There's already a report that the Raiders and the Texans are going after Garoppolo, and then the Jets also could go after Garoppolo if they don't hear from Aaron Rodgers.
That's just the thing. This isn't like NBA free agency where like KD or LeBron has to make up their mind and everything freezes until they do. This is like all the other teams that are not in on Aaron Rodgers are moving on, and the game of musical chairs is going to get played out, and then you're still waiting on a guy who might decide not to come to your franchise. You can't do it. You've got to pull the trigger on another guy if Aaron Rodgers thinks that he can just take a week.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, what are you working on over at Sports Grill so folks can check you out, my friend?
My goodness, we have so much fantasy baseball going on at Yahoo right now, but also we've got we're keeping the football pod going. So we've got the Yahoo Fantasy Football Forecast hosted by Matt Harmon, featuring all of us at various points, and we're going to be doing multiple episodes focusing on free agency. So there's a lot of football content out there for you.
All right, and follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens. Andy, as always, thank you for joining us, my man. Appreciate you immensely.
Appreciate it, Big O. Thanks.
Got it. There you go. The great Andy Behrens getting it done, just like Sports Grill gets it done also. Every Wednesday, by the way, you can join them at 7 o'clock at their South Miami location. They've got trivia night going on there at Sports Grill. And if you haven't been to that one's at 1559 Sunset Drive. Beautiful Sports Grill there. They got all kinds. Remember that you can now take home your sauces, your Sports Grill sauces. You can do that too. It's a beautiful thing. So check it out. If you like the Dale sauce, you like the Miami Heat, They've got them, and you can take them home with you. And bring me some special grilled wings, too, while you're at it, because it's a beautiful thing. By the way, the Sports Grill was giving out $100 during March Madness. So you can also get in on it, and you might be able to win yourself some money. They got some different games going on at Sports Grill, and they also have all kinds of different specials going on throughout the week, so you could take advantage. Check out the locations. They've got 8 great locations. Go to sportsgrill.com. Today is the $7 single smash burger. Tuesdays, it's $2 tacos, chicken, beef, or fish. And on Wednesdays, the kids eat free with the purchase of an adult entree. Sportsgrill.com. Check it out, baby. That's your Sports Grill Miami Dolphins and NFL report.
This is the